This week, as I visited my aunt in a nursing home, she was having therapy. And the lady that was doing the therapy said, "Lois, you need a new cushion for your wheelchair." And so I decided to do a little quilted pillow for her wheelchair. She and her husband loved to dance. He taught dancing and played in a band, and she and my uncle taught all of us how to do various dances. And so I want to use the Gelli print and print, let me get these where you can see it. I want to print this dancing couple on the pillow. It's probably going to be only on the blue. And then I will use both colors around the design. So stick around. I started this project for a pillow, and then I changed it to be a wall hanging. I decided to just buy her a pillow because I wanted her to be able to see the design. She and her husband were dancers along with their other jobs, and I wanted to be able to remind her of some happy days. Next, I'm cutting out the silhouette of the dancers. Now I have cut out both silhouettes, but the part that I'm going to use to print from is this part. So I am connecting the two pages that had the man and the lady dancer on. I'm ready to tape this right here, and both of them will be together. I am going to have to cut a little bit more out right here. Maybe your silhouette, if you do one like this, will all be on one page and it won't have to be put together. Now I have traced around the image onto a 16 by 16 sheet of paper. That's the size that I need for the pillow. And then I will be able to figure out a design that goes around this. This part is kind of trial and error. I want the inside piece to be on a solid color so that I can print the two dancers in the middle. And I have it a little bit more room at the bottom, so I came in with 3 inches and down 3 inches and put my mark. And down at the bottom, I had to come in 3.5 and up 3. It doesn't matter, whatever. I'm trying to figure out a pattern. And it's trial and error. You can see I tried here and I thought it was getting too close to her feet. So just if you're making up your own design, then just keep working at it until you get what you want. I have a 1.5 inch right in the middle, so it would still be more of it's an octagon, but it's different, skewed. Now I just have to figure out how I want to divide up this outside space to make my pattern. All right, I finally figured out a design that I think will be simple and quick to do, I hope. I have a 3-inch square on the top corners and a 3.5 inch square on the bottom corners, since that's wider at the bottom. And then I have little 2-inch pieces in the middle all the way around. I will show you the fabric that I'm about to use. I wanted to use cheerful colors, and I know that my aunt likes these colors and she loves flowers. So I'm going to use the middle teal color in the center and print the design on it. And then I will use that same blue around the edges, the squares and so on. The other odd shaped pieces, like this, will be the flowered print. And that way I think I won't be having too much of the blue sewn to the blue, even though this will be blue and this will be blue. They're not touching very much. So this will be flowered and that will be flowered. So we will see what happens when I get it cut out. Okay, I'm beginning to cut out my pattern, and I'm leaving a seam allowance. Decided to leave these squares on the side for right now. And I also labeled all of the other little pieces so that I'll know where they go. All right, I have all of my pieces cut, and I taped the pattern piece with each one so that I would know where they go. And this is the part I'm going to work with right now. This is the back. Okay, I just have a piece of freezer paper over cardboard here, and I'm placing my cloth and my pattern that I want to put on here. I'm using this warm brown. It's Chinese orange acrylic paint, and I'm just going to spread it out a bit and then test it out over here. I don't want too much paint on the fabric at one time. All right, I've placed my pattern here. I'm just going to hold the edge down where I'm placing the paint. And it doesn't matter to me if I get a solid, even some of the blue showing through will be fine. All right, I have finished stamping on this color. I want to just lift it up in an area and see. It looks like that worked just fine. So let's take it away. Now, all right, since my aunt and uncle were dancers, I wanted to add this, and I wanted it to be a warmer color than just black, so that's the reason I chose this Chinese orange. right, this is dried now, and I need to set the paint into the fabric. So I'm using white vinegar and an old tea towel, and I'm going to just put vinegar on this. Too much vinegar. And press over it with a medium heat iron. Ooh, that's strong. I think that should do. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Now I am pinning my pieces together so that I can start sewing. I have stitched and pressed this top right corner, and I will continue to do these others first. I have the four corners stitched and pressed, and now I'm pinning together the centerpiece so that I can stitch that on. I remember when I was a teenager, my mom teaching me different ways to sew, and I remember her telling me how to turn corners. I did okay on this piece, but when I started putting all of this together, I just don't remember everything. And so, since it's a complicated thing for me, I decided to lay it flat here where I'm pressing, and I did stitch the top and the bottom there and there, but the rest of it I'm turning it under and pinning it, and it will be so much easier. I'm pinning the sides. So with this piece, I will turn it back. I'll start at the other end and put it down here, and then turn this piece under and match it with my little marks, and then I'll just top stitch it. I was going to top stitch it anyway, and this way it'll sew it together and it will be much easier. I'm sure those of you who quilt all the time would think, goodness, you should have done it the right way, but this will get it done. And I've also decided that I don't want this to be a pillow that she will just sit on. I want her to be able to see it and have memories of her and her husband dancing together. So I'm going to make it into a wall hanging instead. I started this project for a pillow, and then I changed it to be a wall hanging. I decided to just buy her a pillow because I wanted her to be able to see the design. She and her husband were dancers along with their other jobs, and I wanted to be able to remind her of some happy days. My aunt is in therapy right now, but I wanted you to see the wall hanging in her room. Please remember to subscribe and like my channel. Thank you.